Hello, I'm Peter Baker, a UK-based professional voiceover, and thank you very much for asking to see the taster session of the voiceover masterclass. Now, I was going to be in my voiceover booth today, but it was rather too difficult to film in there. This is my office, although, as you see, I do have a microphone here, but I only use it when I put this on top of it. This is a special kind of acoustical treatment. It's called a chaotic eyeball. It looks a bit like an eyeball, doesn't it? And basically the microphone goes inside there. We'll talk about equipment and the whole gamut of what you need and what you don't need as a professional voiceover in the masterclass. But I thought we'd start off by asking exactly what is the job of a voiceover? What exactly does the job entail, and how do you fit into the entire media creation system? Basically, you're a service in a box that's opened and used when it's needed at the end of a media creation process that may have taken many weeks or months. 1. You're sent a script. 2. You record it and send files back. 3. You may need to make some changes. 4. The voiceover is accepted. 5. You invoice. 6. You get paid. Happy days. But if you want to be a really successful voiceover where you're asked back time and time again and you get recommended to others, you need to take your art to the next level. Before you read anything, you need to interpret the script, and this is so very important, and it is really what you paid for. Let's take an example of a typical corporate video for a large industrial company. There could have been many meetings with a video production company and a group of clients at the company where every detail and every nuance of the script would have been hammered out. Finally, agreed by all, this script has now been sent to you, the voiceover artist, for you to record. Unfortunately, you haven't, of course, been to any of those meetings, so your job is not just to read the script in a style you think might work, but to actually interpret the script. Now, you may have been given the script by a video producer, an advertising or PR agency creative, an audio recording studio, or whatever. But before recording the script, unless you've already been told in great detail, you need to ask some questions that will alter the style and the speed of your read. These are the questions to ask. Who is the target audience? In other words, who will hear your voiceover? Company staff, existing users of the product or service, or maybe potential users? What's the purpose of the project? Is it to sell? Is it to inform? Is it to warn? Is it to enthuse? The next question you have to ask once you've got your script, what would be the best pace and accent? Now, if it'll be listened to by mostly UK residents with English as their first language, you'll be using a far different speed of reading and accent than, say, if you were talking to an Asian audience who not only don't have English as their first language, but maybe had North American teachers, so they would understand an American accent better. So once you fully interpreted the script, you'd record it and then send your file back for feedback. Maybe you'd have a producer listening at the same time that you record, but it's very rare. You may need to re-record some words or sections and then resubmit the audio file. In all your dealings with the client, 1. You must reply to the initial contact promptly. 2. You ask all the interpretation questions, as we've discussed, tactfully and professionally. 3. You manage expectations with recording delivery and then exceed them. In other words, you say, yes, I can do it maybe this afternoon. I'm kind of busy this morning. And then, of course, you deliver half an hour or an hour later. You exceed expectations. 4. You re-record anything promptly. You offer unlimited re-records on the script until they're 100% satisfied. Don't charge extra for re-records. That really is a way to be unpopular. 5. Only send the invoice when the client is fully happy with your voiceover. And 6, a few weeks after recording, make contact again to ask to see the finished video, as an example for your website maybe. And, of course, it's an excuse to make contact to see if there are future projects for you to record. In the full version of the Masterclass program, we'll go into more detail into a wide variety of elements, including how to make a good income as a voiceover. The business model is described throughout. How to set up your voiceover studio, the gear you need, and the gear which you don't really require to start with. Voice techniques. Now, this is a very, very comprehensive module explaining different voiceover styles and how to achieve them, plus the all-important 5 elements of voice techniques that all VOs need to learn. You'll learn how to get into the head of the listener, analyzing scripts in detail, keeping the client happy, and more on this in a moment. anchoring voice styles and accents, all about maintaining the voice style throughout the script's duration. And sight reading, so you can record virtually as soon as the script appears on the screen. Plus how a weird physical technique gets you through the hard passages. The course will explain about creating impressive demo show reels for your website. Later on in this taster module, we'll look at the top 10 voiceover website tips. We'll also talk about the announcer voice, why it's still needed, even though it's out of fashion, and how to do it. I'll also tell you in detail about the keyboard shortcuts to make editing much more time efficient, and also demonstrate audio editing exercises galore to get you up to speed, and how to read waveforms so you don't often need to hear what you've recorded. Plus, dealing with multiple files that you often get with e-learning programs, phone prompts, and GPS announcements, recording, editing, and timing them for maximum efficiency. The full version of VoiceOver Masterclass features auditioning online, how to actually get the gig that scores of others are also auditioning for, plus comprehensive sections on marketing your voiceover services to get that cash rolling in on your terms. Now, you may think that someone with a voice like mine, deep and authoritative, is bound to be successful as voice talent, but actually these days, a very, very wide range of styles of voice is used. Young, old, male, female, in a range of accents, characters, and styles, all required. And if you don't believe me, listen to the next ad break on the radio, or skim YouTube promotional videos or commercials. You'll see that a classic RP voice like mine is in the minority now. Plus, you don't need to be a brilliant trained actor either, as most radio acting scenarios are written in a tongue-in-cheek or cod comedy style anyway, which is actually quite easy to do. Well, that's all for now. I do hope that you found all this interesting and that you'll sign up for the full VoiceOver Masterclass to really launch your career on the right course. A voiceover career is exciting and varied. Every script is unique. Every producer is unique. Every day is different. You can specialize in what suits your voice and your interests. And it's fun to hear your voice on TV, the radio, in the shopping mall, or in other media. Don't forget there's a whole world of media production houses, ad agencies, agents, and broadcasters who want a whole variety of good, reliable, well-trained English-speaking voice artists. A voiceover career is really interesting and rewarding. It combines vocal control and creativity, and it can be very lucrative, easy work. A voiceover career offers a lifestyle with a lot of flexibility, especially if you can work from a professional home studio. So take advantage of my almost 40 years in this business and learn from me on all the areas from voice training to technical equipment to effective marketing techniques. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the other side where we'll get started for real.